Welcome everyone. I hope you're all having a great day because today we're taking a look at Aventus against four of its many clones, and here I'm talking about tens if not hundreds of clones, but today just four, and one of these four is just more for reference rather than comparing it straight to Aventus, because we're talking about Club de Nuit Intense Man, which needs no introduction. But I'm going to compare the other clones to this one and to Aventus. And we have another fragrance, which I want to talk a bit about it. It's Mancera Cedra Boisé, which in the beginning, when there weren't too many clones of Aventus, this one was considered to be a clone because it had similarities. I don't deny it smells similar to Aventus, but if you compare it not to Aventus but to the clones, it's very different in smell. So it's very different to Aventus. Nowadays we have straight up clones which smell similar to Aventus. This one is a standalone fragrance. Inspired by Aventus, yes, but not a clone. So Mancera Cedra Boisé is not going to be featured in this list or any list of Aventus clones, at least not by me. So let's begin with the least popular clone from these, which is going to be one from this company called Seneca Perfumes, which is, and it's called Initio, and this brand is one of those brands which make expensive clones but high quality, like Perfumes Vintage, Dua or Alexandria. And to talk a bit about this one, compared to Aventus, it's a bit different in the opening. In this one I'm getting like a melon note, which I'm not getting in Aventus. The dry down is similar, but not as similar as Club de Nuit is to Aventus in the dry down. Compared also to Club de Nuit Intense Man, this one doesn't feel synthetic at all. So that's why I'm saying it's high quality. Also compared to Club de Nuit Intense Man, it doesn't project as good as this one. It lasts long. It's an extract de parfum. It lasts long, but doesn't last as long as this one. And it doesn't last as long, or it doesn't project as good as Aventus. So being more expensive than the Club de Nuit, I would prefer the Club de Nuit. However, if people wouldn't stand that synthetic smell or that harsh opening, and they would prefer paying less than Aventus costs, this company produces high quality clones, so it doesn't feel synthetic. The next one, let's talk about another expensive brand, which is going to be Perfumes Vintage. This one is more popular. The fragrance is Intense the One, which is by now the most powerful Aventus clone I have smelled so far, and the strongest from the Perfumes Vintage house. But it is very different to Aventus, not in a way as Mancera is different, but in a way where this one has a lot more pineapple. And I'm talking like you've put pineapple juice on yourself. But Aventus, I know it has many batches variations, and some have more pineapple, some have less. I prefer the more balanced version where everything is more balanced. But if people would prefer, let's say, a lot of more pineapple, this would definitely be the one. It's very strong, it projects, it's a loud Aventus clone. It's stronger than Aventus or any other of these clones, but it's also the most expensive out of these clones. So for that reason, I would recommend it just for the people who love Aventus DNA but would prefer a lot more pineapple and would prefer the high quality ingredients. And the last one is going to be the Lambretta, which is Creed Aventus in a designer way. This one is called Privato Uomo numero 2. This is being an Italian house, and the smell, it's made in such a way where it wants to be mass appealing. So if Creed Aventus doesn't appeal to young men because it might feel like an outdated aftershave, that's what I've heard. This one, it's sweeter, it's more modern. I think it's more easier to wear, but it doesn't have the same quality, not even compared to the other two clones. So for someone who can definitely notice the quality, this one will be different from the other clones or Creed Aventus. This is definitely not made in a niche way, but like I've said in the beginning, a designer way. And even if it's a eau de parfum, it doesn't even last long or project that well. It's decent, but not nearly close as good as the other ones. However, this one is very cheap, maybe not or as cheap as the Club de Nuit Intense Man, depending on the offers you're getting in it, depending on the region you're buying this fragrance from, and the other circumstances. So the Lambretta Privato Uomo numero 2, definitely for someone who likes the Creed Aventus DNA, but actually it's not for someone who already knows the Creed Aventus DNA, but I think this one is more for someone who doesn't own many fragrances, especially niche fragrances, and would like to just smell something different but still mass appealing and easy to wear. And not much to say about the Club de Nuit Intense Man. I still prefer this one because it's so cheap, it gets the job done, and still, to my nose, in the dry down, it gets the closest to Creed Aventus. And I personally don't mind that much the harsh opening. And that was it, guys. I know there are many other Creed Aventus clones. I've been through many other Creed Aventus clones. That was it. Until the next video, keep smelling great.